Okay, so we are going to get started painting. The first thing I'm going to paint here is everything that's going to be black. So with this particular design, I want to make sure that I don't paint things that aren't supposed to be black. So for instance, I don't want this piece to be black. So I have to kind of take a step back and say, okay, what is supposed to be black? And follow the lines and make sure that what I'm painting actually is supposed to be painted, just to try to prevent some errors. So I'm just going to use one of my brushes. We're going to dip it into the dye. Let's see. I don't know what you can see. Okay, perfect. All right. And I'm just going to start with what I know. So I know I want this black. I want. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave. I think I'm going to do Victory in red. So, anyways, I'm not going to do any blending of colors right now. Right now, this is strictly black. There's nothing to be blended, nothing special to be done. I'm just literally doing everything in black. Be careful that your dyes don't drip off of your paintbrush, because obviously you don't want that dye to hit spots that aren't supposed to be painted. Now we are dyeing 2 pieces of fabric. So you can see where it's lighter here and darker here. That means the dye has went all the way through these dark spots to both fabrics, and the dye where it's a little lighter has not. So there are some downfalls to doing 2 pieces at a time. So, I mean, it's kind of up to you if you want to do 2 flags at once, or if you want to do 1 flag at a time. I am doing 2 together right now for sake of time, although it does take a little bit more attention. So, I mean, it might not be a whole lot of time that you're saving, but you are saving some time. I mean, maybe not a lot. You also have to make sure when you are doing 2 flags at a time that your gutta has went through both flags, both pieces of silk. When you're only doing 1 silk, that's not really a problem. All you have to look for are holes in your lines. And so, you know, you pick your hard, right? Either way, there's ups and downs to either method. If you're doing 1 flag only, you have to steam them twice, or steam each flag separately. Since we're doing these together, we can steam the flags together because they're already stuck together with the gutta. The gutta is acting like a glue holding them together now, and we will actually pull those apart after they've been steamed. So if you're doing them individually, you know, you have to think, do you really care if they're 100% the same or not the same? If you want them to be 100% identical, you need to put them together. If you don't care if there's variations in the color, variations in the shape, do them separately, because it's easier in some aspects to do it that way. Again, they both have their own hard. You don't want your lines to get super dry on the edges, because then it'll leave spots. So try to work and don't let the edges get dry. Yeah, basically. What was I saying? Oh yeah, look, I put wrong on my fucking camera. And then yeah, Kaylee wanted to say hi to you. Okay, I finally got all the black finished. I had to turn my camera off. My phone was about to die, so I had to let it charge for a bit. So we missed that. Um, the whole portion of that. You can see where some of it's lighter and some of it's darker, and that's because where it's darker is where it's still wet, and where it's lighter is where I have painted first, so it's all dry. Uh, the next thing I'm going to do before giving this up for the day is I'm going to paint his tongue red. Actually, right there, you see this little seepage? So there was a break in the line that I didn't notice. And so I fixed that after I painted it so that when I paint this part brown, it doesn't seep back into the black and just keep making messes. So I'm going to paint his tongue red, his eye red, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the tip of his nose yet. I haven't decided. But the eye and the tongue definitely are going red. I'm not going to do any blending, so I'm not going to show that to you. I'm just going to get it painted, and then I'm going to put it away. And then we'll come back and we'll do the rest of this tomorrow. Okay, everyone, we are going to get started painting the rest of the flag. So what we've done so far is we've got it stretched on the stretcher. We've got the lines traced with the gutta. We've got our black outline filled in with our fiber reactive dyes. And now we're moving on to the background, and we're going to walk through the technique of blending our dyes to make flames. So basically it's going to look like fire coming off of the mane of our lion. This is going to take a long time to paint. So basically I'm just going to speed up this video, and I will talk to you as I do the video to kind of walk through some things. Yeah, so if you have questions, if you have comments, leave those below. I'll do my best to answer all of the questions. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna try a voiceover here. I've done this a few times and I keep having to redo it. So hopefully this time works. I am starting by doing the background in the marigold mixed with bronze, as we discussed in an earlier video. You'll see that I'm using the goat hairbrush as smaller, so I use that against the edges and lines and small spaces. And I use the larger paintbrush that I showed you, which is a general household interior paintbrush, to do the wider outer edges. Make sure that when you're putting dye near the pins that's attached to the silk, that you pay close attention, because sometimes the dye doesn't want to get around those tight edges. So just pay close attention there. You'll also see here in a moment that I walk around and tighten. There we go. I tighten up this flag because it's starting to get loose, and when it's tighter, it works better. So I'm just going to keep painting these outer edges, working my way in towards the center. I have a little bit of a hard time with this particular flag, which I'm going to go over why that is in like a conclusion video once this flag's completed. I think it's going to be really important for you to watch that, so please just make sure you check that one out, because there's a step that I missed that I wanted to talk about. It didn't necessarily prevent me from doing the flag correctly, but it could have made this process a lot easier for me. You can't really tell that I'm struggling just because I'm speeding the video up, but I did struggle a little bit getting the dye on this flag, and we will talk about that in the conclusion video. So here I'm still just kind of going outward all the way in towards the lion's face, because I want to do the face last so that I don't have harsh brown lines. So I'm getting ready to do the brown on the lion's face. But before that, I want to make sure that I get all the yellow on first, because I'm actually going to mix some of the brown with the yellow and then move towards the front of the lion's face. That will keep me from having very sharp line. So if I did the brown first and then did the yellow, it wouldn't blend and it would just be really sharp because I'm going on dry silk here. This silk is not wet before I put the dye down. And if you put your dyes down on dry silk, it's just going to give you some really harsh lines. So there I just added the brown into the yellow and started going towards the front of the face, and that helps to blend that in. You'll see in a minute I start doing the ear. I do the ear in a little bit of a lighter color. I actually added some water to my dye here in a moment to lighten up the dark brown for the ear, which I really wish I hadn't have done that because I didn't like how light it turned out. And in fact, I'm actually going to go back and redo a few places on this flag. So I added some yellow there so that it would be wet again before I added the red to help blend better. It's easier to blend when your silks are wet. So I do red on the outer edges, and then I do orange inside the red. Then I actually come in with a little daffodil yellow in the center of those reds. What you don't see now, I'm off camera, I'm going back around and putting more yellow on the flag to give it a second layer. That really helps with the blending because I'm putting wet on wet, and wet on wet actually helps the blending process go a lot smoother. So I'm just layering the red, the orange, and the yellow in areas that I feel like would look nice with the flames. And like I said, when you use a wet on wet technique, it blends a lot better and gives you a lot less sharp lines. So if you want sharp lines, go on dry. If you want blended lines, go on wet. And so you'll see, like I'm just doing the dark red on the edges, yellow in the center, or orange and then yellow in the center. And what you don't see off camera, I'm just adding a little more brown to kind of blend in the face into the yellow. We can discuss all of this a little more in detail in my conclusion video. And I'll actually have an opportunity for everyone to kind of ask questions. At least that's the plan. Here I'm just adding some pure water onto the lettering to let it blend a little bit better. It didn't work out the way I was hoping as far as the blending of the red and the orange together. And I'm probably actually going to go back in and do the whole word victory in all red. Again, we're going to talk about that in the conclusion video. And we'll talk about the process of the blending in that video. So, yep, this is about it. I'm about finished here. You'll see me go back over the black again in a moment. And that's because I wanted to try a different technique that did not require me to steam. I was going to try to let this set as opposed to steaming it, which I have not done before. And again, we'll go over all of that in the conclusion video, why I felt like it worked and why I feel like I still like steaming better, even though this is fiber reactive dyes and not acid dyes. Again, we'll go over all of that in the conclusion video. I think it's going to be really important to watch that video so that we can go over a lot more details in person. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those below. And I hope to see you in the next video where we draw this thing to a conclusion. See ya.